everyone. Your designers are here.
I'm Anita with Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly with My Soulful Home. And we've got tips and tricks and decorating advice for you. So let's get started.
Today is episode 54, Setting a Summer Table. Well, I can't wait to get started on setting summer tables, too, because, the warm weather is upon us, and we can either go indoor or inside or out, but it's a nice time to lighten up our tables. So let's talk about, when you think of summer entertaining, what do you think of?
I think of this long pine table. It's an antique on my back porch at the farm, and I think about my friends sitting around that table. I think of the sun setting in the background, and I think about a delicious meal, and I think it's really one of the most pleasant thoughts I have. And one of these days, you're going to both be sitting at that table.
Yes. Sooner than later, hopefully.
Yes, I can't wait. And I really hope that we here decorate. I hope we entertain a little bit more this summer. Last summer, was a whirlwind of all trying to move and pack, and we really didn't do too much of that. So I'm excited to hear everything that you guys have to share today to incorporate that with some of the things that I would be doing.
Well, when I think about entertaining in the summertime, I do think about outdoor entertaining a lot. But we live in an area that the weather can get very hot and humid. In the heat of
we don't have that here.
No, you do not in Houston. But also, we can have pretty violent weather as well, like terrible thunderstorms, and so when you live in my neck of the woods, you have to be prepared to go outside or in at a moment's notice.
Right. Good point.
Yeah, we're fairly weatherless.
I know.
But it can be hot, so I probably wouldn't, especially my backyard. We haven't really figured out how to have a shady area, but so I would be definitely doing some outdoor entertaining. I'm trying to talk my daughter into having her birthday party as a dinner party rather than just a come over teenagers and hang out parties.
I don't know if you're a teenager, you'd want to sit in a dinner for a dinner party.
I know, but on one hand, they think it's kind of snazzy and a little grown up, so I don't know if I can pull it off. But I've been having visions of that, and, obviously doing it later into the evening when it's cooler and there's some shade.
That does sound lovely. Well, and I think the things we're going to be talking about are things that you can hopefully do, whether it's indoors or outdoors, right? I mean, because it's the table, which you can have either place.
Well, and, even though it's summer, I feel like use your good stuff too. That's okay.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Mix it in with some, maybe, some, if you really want to go summery, some shells or, simple bouquets of sort of country blooms, but you might have your crystal and china that we talked about. Just haul it all out. I think it mixes so beautifully.
We don't use plastic plates out on the porch here, so I have so many dishes. If something breaks, it breaks. I'm just not going to worry about it. So, that's what we use on the table outside.
Well, I'm a little different. We have a patio outside, and it does have a big tree that shades it. And this summer, I'm going to put a chandelier up in the tree.
Ooh, cool.
Over the table. But I use a mix of things, and I do use beautiful plasticware. You can find gorgeous plasticware these days. Well, and it just gives me another thing to collect. And I can find it at Walmart, Target, Wayfair, One Kings Lane, and the price line runs the gamut. But what I usually do is I have an old 7-Up crate that I've taken the little individual wood slats out of it. And I keep all of my dinnerware in that, so we literally can pick it up in the house and take it outside.
Well, Yvonne, you make a good point, and that is that there are so many. The newer plastic plates are so much prettier than they used to be. So I think you can set a very elegant table with the plastic plates, because some people have kids or, are just concerned about that. So definitely that's a very, very good option to do that.
You're right, Anita, but not even kids. I'll put it in the show notes, one called Al Fresco Dining, and it's really upscale, like it's a grown-up dinner party. And it's all beautiful, beautiful plasticware.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think another really great point that Yvonne made was having it all handy and at the ready, because let's face it, sometimes it's nice to just eat outside with your own family. You don't have to be doing having a big party, big dinner party, or loads of people over. So sometimes, I don't know if you guys feel this way, like I have great intentions of let's eat on the porch, or let's set the table outside and eat outside, but all of a sudden, the time is slipping away and it's like kind of just easier to eat inside like you usually do because everything's right there.
Yeah.
So sometimes when we could, we don't, even because it would just take that extra, 15 minutes or something to pull everything out and set it up. But if you've got it already like that, maybe you've got a crate or something like Yvonne has, or a basket, with handles, that you could just have everything that you would use for outside, and boom, you pick it up. And out you go, and throw the cloth on or what have you.
That's right. And when you wash it, you put it right back in the crate. And I have a carry-all that has forks, knives, and spoons.
That's
the great, colorful handled ones.
Nice.
And we like to use real napkins. I mean, I have no problem using paper napkins, but it's so much fun. We just have the colors that go with. I usually have beautiful red, white, and blue, or really deep blue and like an ikat. Sort of a pattern.
Nice.
And I just have all those things and the napkins that go along with it all in that carrier, so I take it outside. And here's another thing.
Do you just keep that ready all year round, or do you set it up in the summer?
No, I have it in my breakfast nook. I have a table that has a bottom shelf, and right, like, now I have it all set up, but like earlier in the spring, I'd bring it all out, put it all there, and then later in the fall, I retire it back down to the basement until I need it again. But also, I have gorgeous acrylic stemware for wine and also for to drinking glasses. Nice. And I love those because they're heavy. And a wind's not going to knock them over. But also, if they do get knocked over, they're not going to shatter.
Well, I think the first place I start when setting a summer table is at the farm. We have lots of wildflowers. There's always something blooming. But even, for people that don't have a whole farm to choose from, usually you have some bushes in your yard or something growing, some perennials. So there's something where you can clip some flowers. Some
and
blooms.
Anita, that looks so beautiful on a table. I usually put a runner down the center of the table. I don't use a tablecloth during the summer, in or out. And I just go to my gardens and I pull, because we plant a lot of annuals, and usually put them in mason jars or little white bottles going down the center of the table. Really easy, and something that, is just, you can put it together in 10 minutes. It's no big deal.
Right. And I like that to be the starting point of where I start. So I'll pull whatever colors, whatever's blooming, that's what I bring onto the table. And then I use those colors to start to decide which plates I'm going to use. And that's kind of the beginning point for my table setting. But also, even what I put them in, it might be a white ironstone pitcher is kind of a favorite thing that I think we all like to use. But another thing that I have are some really pretty, go check out IKEA. They've got I have some really pretty green bottles that I like to use and just put the flowers in them too.
Oh yeah, or you can even, I'm a big repurposer. You can even save little soda bottles, like little Pellegrino bottles.
Exactly.
Or, any of those little specialty sodas. Sometimes they come in the cutest little. Yeah. Laura and I were just having lunch somewhere, and it was just the cutest little, sort of, vintagey, retro-y looking little soda bottle. So she was like, "Can we keep this, Mom?" I was like,
sneaking it home in your purse.
Keep it. We bought it, and so we washed it out, and we've already stuck some little flowers in it. That would be such a cute, casual way. And I like to do, and which sounds like you guys too. I like to do smaller arrangements throughout the long table, like spread them out instead of one big one. It seems more casual and easier for people to really talk, because my fantasy summer entertaining is have a lovely dinner, have people over, and then everybody just sits and talks and laughs until the stars are out.
That's right.
Well, don't you find, or at least I know for me, if I put the little individual vases, like little pitchers or whatever, on everyone's plate, and so everyone has their own little vase of flowers, that just seems to be such a crowd pleaser for people.
It's such a sweet little surprise,
especially if it's in some little maybe like you said, like a bottle that's just something came in, like some Pellegrino water, so they can take it home, and it's a nice little party favor.
Oh, that's so sweet.
You know what's a great thing? I don't know if you have these at your store. I can't find them anymore, but they show up periodically at a couple of my grocery stores. They're the little yogurts, and they come in these tiny little glass jars.
Oh, I don't
with
know
kind
anything
of
about
a
those.
wide open lid, and it's not Greek yogurt, but it's some kind of specialty
like a
yogurt.
Weck jar?
I'm sorry, Yvonne?
Like a Weck jar? Like those glass jars with the real wide mouths and the rubber seal?
Yeah, no rubber seal.
Okay.
And they're super tiny. I want to say they're maybe 2.5, 3 inches tall, and they have.
Oh, I haven't seen these.
Yes,
No.
and actually the yogurt is so yummy. There's like apricot and a ginger one, and then some other interesting flavor, and they usually come in a pack of 3. Well, I went crazy when I saw these because I must have
the
about.
yogurt. I just like to collect the bottle.
I know, forget it. Scoop the yogurt out.
Container.
Hurry up, we need to make a floral arrangement.
Somebody eat this.
No, the yogurt was great to boot, and then you got all these. So I must have about 45 of them, and sometimes and you could even they're wide enough where you could even put a little votive inside if you wanted to go the candle route.
Cute.
So cute, but I wish I could remember the name of it. I will try to look it up and see if I can find it, and we can put it in the show notes. But something like that. So look around your grocery store, because sometimes there are interesting, whether it be cans, like the McCann's steel cut Irish oats. I love that can. I use that for floral arrangements all the time.
You know what I found out though? You have to put a liner in there because those things do leak.
You put a glass liner in, and a mason jar fits in perfectly there. There's a couple of tomato, like stewed or peeled tomato cans, brands that put out beautiful cans. And so, that might be something really fun for the summer too. You have a little pop, and then you have your flowers in those lined up down the table.
Girls, we are such designers. Like, we can find containers to put flowers in the canned vegetable aisle of the grocery store.
No, yeah.
I love it.
There's another one, and it's usually in the international food aisle if you're getting really snazzy at your grocery store. But it's El Pato or Pato, Pato, and they make like a chili sauce, like maybe you would add to a salsa or something like that.
Yum.
And they're tiny little cans, and they're so adorable. So
We're going
cute for
global,
succulents.
girls. It's international now.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. And it's basically, it's taking things down a notch. So it's comfortable, and it looks like you didn't fuss, and it's all just about enjoying time together, those lazy summer evenings. Summer evenings are my favorite time of the whole year.
Oh, me too. So another tip, and this isn't it's not just summer, but this is something I love to do on a summer table or any table, is to use some real silverware. But here's my tip on that. So maybe you say, my stuff, I have this sterling silver, it's too expensive. I don't want to lose anything. Take it outside. What I do is buy silver plate, which is much less expensive. And guess what? Everyone's getting rid of it because they don't want to polish it. So let them go ahead, put it on eBay or Etsy, and then I go in and swoop in and buy it. And then that's what I use on my back porch. And honestly, it's so inexpensive. I mean, it could be plasticware, honestly, for about the price I paid. And here's the great thing. If you go on eBay, for example, you can usually get something. If you look, you'll find something that has your monogram on it.
That's a wonderful tip.
I have some with J on it, and I actually have some that have CH for Cedar Hill. So and found them all on eBay, super cheap, and they're great on the back porch. So that's my tip.
Okay, I remembered you saying that now, and I want to look for monogram silver. I think that would be so fun, or the hotel silver that you talked about too.
Right, and I've got that too.
So fun.
Well, see, I go totally the opposite direction, and I buy those. I have about 5 sets. I've collected all for years of the forks, knives, and spoons that have the plastic handles that are grommeted.
Yeah, those are
and
so
I have
good
them
looking.
in white, navy, red. I think I have orange. I don't know what possessed me to buy orange because I really don't use it. But I just have. I think I have like 3 sets of white, a set or 2 of blue, a set of red, and I mix those together. So I don't know if you're going to get a red fork and a white knife and a blue
that sounds
spoon.
Great. Sounds
but it's
fun.
all mixed up because they look relatively the same, and I keep them in a big caddy that I just, with a big handle on it, that again, I was saying, like, I keep my cloth napkins, and these are napkins that I do not iron. I just put them in the wash, get them out of the dryer, fold them up, and that is good enough.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. We're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order.
And which brings me to another tip, which I have mentioned before, but it makes sense here again. To use, especially if you're having like something messy outdoors, like barbecue sauce, which you might be doing in the summer, try looking online for something like a towel, a hand towel, or a bandana.
A bar towel. I love to use bar
as
towels.
your napkins. So something oversized.
Well, those
That's
IKEA ones,
idea.
the
yes, with the red stripe.
with the red stripe, exactly. I mean, those
I've
are
used
great.
those absolutely.
Yeah. Even if you're doing
That's
lobster,
such a
people
good
could
idea.
tie those around their neck. Even they're so big.
And here's another idea when we're talking about things that are sloppy, like when summertime is the most wonderful time to do like a low country boil, and where you have crabs and shrimp and sausage and corn on the cob all together. And I just put down outside a big long runner of brown paper.
Oh, yeah.
And I make
great idea.
And with chalk, I I set my place in it, and I just put on because it shows up really well on brown paper. Just put their names of who your people are on chalk by their place setting.
So you do it long ways down the table?
Oh, down the table. And then what you do is you throw, like I have pots of this stuff, and then you just throw it all in the center of the table, like not
So
on
fun.
anything.
Oh, so you cover the entire table with this paper.
Well, I cover the center, but it's a pretty big swath of the center.
Oh, okay, got
that,
it.
Like, yeah, I would say
Like a runner, Anita.
Yeah, but it's a big, wide one.
Well, but I'm saying you can even use those as where the plates are. You could do them down where the plates are.
Yes,
also.
you could. And then you just roll it up and throw it out. And here's the nice thing: if you're picking crab or even corn, you just keep it all in a pile. You're like rubble, you're of food. You just keep it in a little pile and we just roll that paper up and throw it away. And that's really fun to eat messy food outside.
It is. It is. One more other thought about the silverware is, have you guys seen the silver and gold plastic? So,
yes,
it clearly looks
well,
plastic.
I've seen some. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I took that for the girls one time. We were doing some outing with a group at, I think it was the Girl Scouts at the end of my tenure as their leader, and the girls went crazy for that. I don't know why. It really had an impact on them. Like that it wasn't white plastic. They were like, this is so snazzy. So yeah, if you want to impress anybody under 12, that's the way to go.
Hey, I was pretty impressed when I saw it in the Target aisle, too.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's even in my regular Ralph's grocery store now.
Oh, there you go.
And it's not that much more. I mean, I'm really
I
not
actually saw
more
some
than the regular.
I bought some for an outdoor party that we had because I couldn't make myself use the plastic, but I needed like enough for like 50 people. I actually found some sets at Walmart that were, stainless steel, forks and knives and spoons,
yes.
but they had the black handles. It was plastic, but
Sure.
not like it wasn't disposable though.
Right.
But I mean, those looked really, nice for an outdoor party.
Oh yeah, and I don't even throw out plastic knives and forks and spoons. I put them in the dishwasher.
Okay.
And they work well?
And they don't
Never
melt.
put a plastic utensil in the dishwasher. Good to know.
I do it all the time. I think we've had the same 5 forks all year for school lunches. And so I just, why keep buying them?
And here's
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Here's another. This is totally off the utensil topic, but just use mason jars.
Oh, yes. Well, that's what I use for drinking. Of course. I mean, we use, and they're so inexpensive. You can buy them and use them, like we said, for vases or anything. They're so versatile.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. How about condiments on the table? Oh, shiver me timbers. Having a ketchup and a mustard out there on your beautiful table. Do you do anything? Do you take the time to squirt it all into something pretty?
I do.
It depends.
do.
It depends. Yeah, I do, unless it's like really just family. Yeah.
Yeah, I have these cute little condiment dishes, and there's 3 bowls connected together.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah.
And I usually do mayo, mustard, and ketchup if we're doing burgers or something like that.
Well, if you had something really casual, I think you could put them in some tote boxes down the table. That would be really cute.
That is cute. That's
That is
a very
cute,
cute
yeah.
idea. And here's another thing I want to bring up: candlelight. I think using, especially if we're talking about we'll talk about outdoors first. When it's we have farmland all around us, and we have the lightning bugs, fireflies come out. Oh, and it's just like a light show every night.
Oh.
So we like to stay out till it's, dusk or dark. And we like to have little candles all along the table. Something that's low. A lot of the times we'll put them in a mason jar or some kind of a votive, because if it's breezy, of course, they'll go out. And here's the other thing is, we do get mosquitoes and bugs that love to bite the ankles. So we don't put citronella on the top of the table. We put them in big, heavy-duty glass containers under the table.
Oh, that's interesting.
So the bugs don't get at our feet.
So citronella candles under the table?
Yeah, like in a bucket
Wow.
or something. Have you seen them in the galvanized buckets? Sometimes
Yeah,
I
I've seen them
get
like
a big
that.
citronella candle, and I've got a bunch of these great big, like clear, almost hurricanes, but they're sort of short.
But
and I
most of
stick
those,
them at the ends, not like someplace where a person could kick them.
but most
at the
people,
ends.
those insects don't really like any kind of smoke. So if you're eating and the citronella is bothering you or kind of taking away from your meal, I think just plain candles would work quite
Well, that's
effectively
why.
as well.
Well, not in our area.
Oh, really?
So that's why we use the citronella, or we get out the cutter spray, one or the other, and spray her from our knees down.
Well, we
because,
get enough
it
of
can
a
get pretty
breeze
vicious.
that it usually knocks. Nothing can handle it. They can't stay. So. We don't have
so
too
just
much
make sure, but I would never put citronella on top of my table just because of the way it smells.
Yeah.
And I think it would really detract from your meal.
Yeah, that's kind of
it's
what I
very
was saying.
potent.
Yeah. So let's
What
talk
about-
about maybe some of our. Do you want to talk about some of our favorite recipes? Can we
Ooh,
talk
I'd
about
love
those?
Sure. If we're going to do this beautiful table, we better give people something to eat, right?
All right. Well,
Let's
I have
do
dessert
first.
Oh, dessert first. Okay, that's what I was
Dessert first.
Well, my family's favorite thing in the summer is a peach cobbler, and that is actually what I use as my mother-in-law's recipe that was handed down. So it's just basically it makes you can do it in a pie. Actually, I have adjusted it. She used it in a 9.5 by 11 glass casserole dish, but I like to use the recipe and put it in an iron skillet. And so it's just very rustic looking and
Yes.
Yum.
yeah.
Does it have the biscuit top or the crumble top?
No, and well, neither one. I make the crust really big, and then I just kind of fold it over a little bit. So it's kind of
It's like a galette.
yes, it's more of a rustic
Yes.
pie. Yeah,
Yes,
really the way I
yes,
make it.
uh-huh.
So pretty, too.
And what do you serve it with? Do you serve it with milk, ice cream?
Ice cream, yes, of course.
Yum.
Of course.
Yum. I'm definitely coming to your house. Make sure you have that summer peach
But I'm
galette
going to
for
tell
me.
you, if you've got fresh fruit or vegetables, that's a great centerpiece too on your table. Beautiful tomatoes,
You are right.
peaches. I mean, the peaches are so fragrant. We've talked.
Oh, yeah.
about
You could
this.
have just a row of peaches with some votives in between.
Yes, yeah.
And
a
try to
big
leave a
bowl.
little bit of the leaf on the peaches, and the smell and the look, so beautiful.
And
you don't
here's
need a lot at all.
No,
And then
and
everybody
here's
can
the-
eat it.
and
Unless
especially
Anita
if
came
you-
over and made her
Yeah.
dessert, and then they would eat that.
If you have excess, if you have a garden like we do, sometimes we, in the height of the season, have so much like we can hardly handle it, and it's so nice to have like them in bowls or just going down the center of the table, and you say to everybody, "Take as much as you want, take it home."
Oh yeah, now Yvonne, you would probably do this in mason jars because I know, and it looks
Well,
so
you know
pretty.
me. Well, I know I do love a galette. I do have to say I love that look, like a cobbler that looks like a very rustic with the rustic crust. I really I would let that go, but yeah, you could probably do that. I have a funny story when not in this house but the house before, we built this huge garden and we did this French intensive gardening. I happened to get a Martha Stewart book about gardening. I mean, this was decades ago. And,
I think you told us about meeting Martha. I remember that
meeting
story.
Martha. Mm-hmm.
Or not?
Well, this is the,
yeah, that's right.
This is the book. So anyway, I planted all these varieties of tomatoes. Like this was my first sort of venture out into the land of heirloom tomatoes and things. I had so many. I made jars and jars and jars of tomatoes every night. And finally, I would take a wagon around and this is how we collected all of our produce, but I had like this big wagon, and every night I would go around the neighborhood and like try to pawn off my fresh tomatoes on people. And finally I went to my next door neighbor who lived at the top of the hill, and on her back door there was a sign, "No more tomatoes, Yvonne." So I think putting them on your table and just giving them to every guest is the perfect way
there
to get
you
rid
go.
of your
There,
tomatoes.
a
That's
little
fun.
bag of tomatoes. You could even take a little brown lunch bag and kind of roll it down and put some tomatoes or whatever you had.
That
some
is
people-
so cute.
What's the other thing? Everybody gets a ton of zucchini, right?
Oh yeah.
I said I can watch my zucchini grow. But you're right. That would be such a
right?
cute
And then you could write their name on the bag, so it could be
We're
a
getting
place
way
card.
too cute now.
I'm gonna have to have a party
Yes,
soon.
yes.
Okay, so if I did have an outdoor party, I would serve my favorite summer meal, which is this recipe I saw in the Washington Post years ago when we lived in Alexandria, and I riffed it a little bit because I changed it to suit our taste a little bit more. There was a little too much sugar in the vinaigrette, so I have that recipe in a post that I can put in the show notes. But it's a grilled chicken that has this wonderful warm vinaigrette that you pour over, and you put it over a bed of greens.
Oh,
Oh,
So
I am
it's-
so hungry right now.
Yeah.
I know that sounds
It's
wonderful.
called grilled chicken over wilted greens, but wilted in a good way,
Yes, of
wilted with
course.
the vinaigrette. And
Because
then
it's been bathed in the vinaigrette wilted.
yes, it's so yummy. And then I decided to serve it with Israeli couscous, which is the bigger couscous.
Yes.
And we just love that. And usually I'll make that with some saffron or chicken broth or something to give it a little pizzazz. And I'll really that and a big baguette because you can soak up the vinaigrette. It's perfect. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months.
Guess what I'm having next Sunday when we have all of our family over?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Make sure you put that. Well, I'll get that before anyway. So mine is, my sister made this years and years ago.
And your sister isn't she a professional chef?
Mm-hmm. Well, she was.
Okay.
But she's the most amazing cook I know. And like her everyday meals, like you could go to the finest restaurant and get those. So, but this is an easy recipe. You take summer vegetables. I use onions, red and green peppers, zucchini, like yellow squash, eggplant, and you grill it on your grill. And then you arrange them on a big platter, and then you make this amazing vinaigrette that has fresh basil in it.
Oh, yeah.
And you drizzle it all over these grilled fresh summer vegetables. And then you cut basil into chiffonades, like into those little ribbons, and you put that all over the top. It is, if you make one thing this summer, that should be it. It's that good. Oh, and then you can, like, the next day put it in a sandwich and, chop it up and put it in an omelet. I mean, they're just, these veggies are really good.
Oh,
so, yum. Yeah, the next day you could mix it with some burrata cheese or some other kind of fresh mozzarella.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, this is
okay, I gotta go.
We gotta go cook now.
I gotta turn the grill on.
and yeah, that's actually on my blog, so I'll make sure I put that in the show notes as well. But we've been talking a lot about going outside. Just give a tip about indoor summer entertaining, or summer, just setting a pretty summer table.
I think adding that some summer color, I mean, definitely would be the way I would do it. Would be some summer themed plates and some flowers from the yard would be my big tip.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and maybe some shells, some starfish, something like that. A little nod to the beach, or if it's if you're tending towards the patriotic, maybe something little tiny flag, something just really darling,
cute.
Just a little whimsy, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And I would say just totally keep it relaxed.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm all about sitting around the table after dinner, talking, sharing stories, and especially as the days get longer, even inside you can linger a little longer. Just keep it very relaxed. And if I'm doing an indoor summer table, I love to use white. Just white everything. And then maybe some of my even my herbs, like groups of beautiful bunches of green herbs in the center of the table.
Oh,
so
that's a great
white and
idea.
green looks really fresh. Mm-hmm.
And you can get those from the grocery store if you don't have them growing in your yard.
Yes, but even if you just have a little stoop or a patio, they're so easy to grow. So I would just encourage people to grow herbs. They're just so easy.
Well, this has been so fun. And now like Kelly said, I'm so ready to go out and do some grilling and have some people over. This has been a delight. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Hey there. If you're loving our podcast like we're loving our podcast, we would love you to rate and review us. Head to iTunes to do that. It's easy and it would mean so much to us.